Episode 7, live with Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Mayor, what are we about to do?
Well, we're about to go give a speech to the people of Staten Island on behalf of Lee Zeldin, who'll be the next governor of New York. And it should be in a landslide because, unfortunately, my state is in desperation right now. And many people believe this is our last chance to straighten it out and keep people here. We've never lost as many people as we have under Hochul. Crime is up 30, 40, 50%. Since she's been governor, murder's up 32%. She thinks it's a fiction. She thinks that Zeldin is making it up. And she's actually the cause of it.
I'm going to be walking backwards to make sure when I'm follow me.
Andy,
I'm going to go.
The common sense voice fighting against the city government, and someone that you have been hearing from a lot recently as he continues that fight.
Thanks for joining us. We're live on Facebook and YouTube.
Vito Pasella.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Appreciate it. Most importantly, I want to just make an announcement that the Owens terrorist said he's running a tab. So after this rally,
Yeah, let's wait. We're going to be a while.
Come right here.
Yeah. So let's not interfere with them there, okay? So since we have a little time before the speech, let's discuss where this race is. A couple weeks ago, no one would have given Lee Zeldin a chance to win. But they should, because the conditions in New York are deplorable. This is probably one of the 2 or 3 worst governed states in the country. All you have to do is measure the economy. It's one of the worst in the country. The number of people who have fled New York, which is the highest in the country and the highest ever. I mean, people are...
Rudy.
Is it time to go?
No, I'm going to go and then I'm going to...
All right, good. Those are...
They love you. They love you.
Well, these are my fans in Staten Island. They got me elected mayor. I've been loyal to them, and they've been loyal to me. And these are the people who they're like you are in the rest of America. They're not like wacko, left-wing, criminal-loving, extremely irresponsible people. And it's fine if they don't do anything where they have the lives of other people in their hands. But when you get somebody like Hochul, she's literally getting people killed by being so irresponsible. She puts criminals on the street more than Cuomo did. It's a tragedy. And then the economy of the state is a disaster, an absolute disaster. The economy is driving people out of New York in record numbers. We're the highest tax state in the union. The government takes more than 50% of what you earn, which means we're effectively a socialist state. And with the amount of spending. So I'll leave you with one fact before I go to speak. We spend more than twice as much money as Florida, and Florida has 3 million more people than we do. They have $100 billion budget. We have a $220 billion budget.
So if you can, please patronize and support him. Of course, if you can, it really goes a long way. Now, our next
So we'll take a short delay. Why don't you listen to the speakers?
Is the deputy minority leader in the state senate. Now, what does that mean?
Want me to go get a chair?
No, I'm coming next, I think.
Yeah, you'll be
Against the bills. All the crap.
Okay, if you get a chair, that'd be good.
He's the one that argues against. And I gotta tell you, some days I feel bad for the Democrats.
Yep.
Because the way he does it. I want to introduce to you, Senator Lanza.
So
Mr. Mayor, how are you? Here, we have a chair here for you if you'd like.
the person speaking now
Is going to bring you up.
is the deputy minority leader of the Senate. He's the Republican number 2 in the state Senate, which used to be controlled by Republicans until socialists. He literally is in a place that had a standing ovation when they voted to kill 9, 8, and 7-month-old babies. When New York passed a law that allows abortion up until the moment of birth. Not only was that despicable, since a 9-month-old is a baby, so they were voting for murder, but he had to sit there while they had a standing ovation and had a party for it. So the Democrat Party in this state celebrates the murder of 7, 8, and 9-month-old babies in the womb. They also are in favor and have a bill to mutilate children without the permission of the parents, so long as the teachers and the doctors agree. So you don't control your children anymore if these crazy socialists have their way. They will take control of your children and allow the mutilation of their bodies, irreversible, without the parent knowing about it, if the parent is considered prejudiced. Like, you don't think your child is ready to make a decision like that. This is what Andrew Lanza has to face every day. He knows the state is going down the tubes. And the election of Lee Zeldin is our only hope. I believe it's going to happen, because I think they've pushed the people in New York, even though they're Democrats, I think they pushed them too far. You just don't murder 7, 8, and 9-month-olds in the womb, and you don't mutilate children. I mean, parents should have permission with regard to the sex change of their child.
I have had a front row seat.
With inflation making the price of everything really hard to understand, and obviously that much more damaging to you, the wonderful Christian conservative company Patriot Mobile, which is the only Christian conservative company that provides, the same kind of phone service as all those big names that you hear, and it's just as good. And Patriot Mobile, yes, provides those services, but they've been in the fight for vindicating the lives of children, now vindicating the ability to parents to be able to guide those lives and love their children. So many of the causes that mean so much to you and me, Patriot Mobile has been very much a part of. And therefore, if you're having a tough time with a new cell phone and you want an absolutely first-rate service, go to Patriot Mobile, patriotmobile.com/Rudy or 972-PATRIOT. It has plans for almost everyone. You get the same great service as you do on any of the other characters. And the money is going to be used for things that you find very dear: the right to life, the right to freedom of speech, the right to defend yourself. Go to patriotmobile.com/Rudy or call 972-PATRIOT. Use the offer code Rudy because it'll get you free activation. If you're a veteran or you're a first responder, let them know, because you're going to get extra discounts and bonuses and the special treatment you deserve. And they have special discounts, that will apply just to you, of different types. Come join our movement and switch today to patriotmobile.com/Rudy. That's patriotmobile.com/Rudy or 972-PATRIOT. Thank you.
To the Lieutenant Governor, Kathy Hochul. And let me tell you what I have seen with my own eyes and heard with my own ears and watched in terms of the bills and the laws that she's created. Kathy Hochul, quite simply, is the most radical left socialist Democrat who has ever served in the governor's mansion of the state of New York. Period. She does not want you to know the truth. That's why she's lying in commercial after commercial after commercial. She wants you to think all of a sudden that she is some moderate, middle-of-the-road, crime-fighting governor. Well, if she's been fighting crime in the state of New York as governor, she's the worst fighter in the history of the ring.
What's happening?
What?
What's happening?
So,
This is what I have seen her do as our governor, as I sat.
I believe you. I hope you all can hear Andy Lanza's speech. Andy is really basically hitting all of the reasons why has a Democrat Party in panic you've got to remember the New York Democratic Party has a long history of corruption. So they've had Albany for years. The last two governors have left in disgrace, major corruption and disgrace. There's no reason to believe that the same thing wouldn't happen to Hochul, who already has 3 or 4 major scandals. And meanwhile, the crime is driving people out of New York. The economy is crushing them. You put the two together, the state and city doesn't have very long. There isn't much left if we continue to put ourselves in the hands of these destructive, whatever they are, socialists, communists.
Unprincipled reprobates.
The gentleman here says unprincipled reprobates. That's very true. There's no question that Albany is a cesspool. Gosh, if I were a prosecutor again and I couldn't get most of them, I'd be embarrassed. It's almost like their criminality and the way in which they put together these pay-for-play deals are almost amateurish. I mean, Hochul's got 2 of them for which she should be investigated immediately. It's a tragedy.
Let me tell you, Kathy Hochul, sick and depraved answer to the drug overdoses. She's the worst governor ever. She opened safe needle sites in New York. She appointed Dr. Death to be New York State's top doctor. Our health commissioner in New York State is the architect of safe needle sites in New York. This is what Kathy Hochul says. If you find your family member in the road,
Yeah, we'll wait.
If your daughter or son, God forbid, died, you know that they died with a clean. This is sick and depraved, and this is what Kathy Hochul's response to the drug overdose problem is.
So now, Andy, who's going on longer than I thought he would, so I'll just sit here and wait. He is pointing out a problem that exists where you are, if you're in America, which is the fentanyl problem. We've had more drug overdoses this year than ever before in the history of the state and city. Thank you, Kathy Hochul, who's done nothing about it. But of course, this comes directly from Biden, who has a wide open border. And this is a tragedy because we were starting to get fentanyl under control under Trump. Starting to see reductions, interceptions. But the fact is, everyone with common sense and a little bit of knowledge realizes that the president is compromised completely by China. You can't do anything that will hurt China. So to cut off fentanyl would take a tremendous source of revenue away from China. You know, $31 million to your family can do a lot to take an otherwise crooked man like Biden and just make him more crooked. And of course, none of these people will speak up about it because they have their own deals. Hochul's very, very hard to put a stadium in Buffalo, and a husband is going to have the concessions. That isn't crooked? So I'm going to give a rather short speech and emphasize 2 things, because if this doesn't do it, nothing does. Crime and the economy.
Thanks for joining us live from Staten Island. Mayor Rudy Giuliani has been asked to speak.
If these people can't realize that to vote for another Democratic governor with the amount of crime and the state of the economy, then there's nothing that can help them. They're doomed. Crime is completely out of control. People are frightened to go on the subways. People are frightened to walk around Rochester, New York. Rochester, New York has more crime than New York City. I mean, this. You have to work at this. You have to work at favoring criminals over innocent people. And that's what they do. That's their constituency, the criminals. In fact, they want criminals to vote. They want non-citizens to vote. What they're really worried about is hardworking, honest, decent people voting. Because the stench from the top of the Democratic Party is so great that they're not going to vote for the party of Clinton, the party of Biden. It's one thief after another. one sellout of America after another.
Tell them that we're hurting, that we know New York is heading.
I mean, it's really a tragedy. And of course, this is a state that used to be, well, one time it was a Republican state, and it was a split state. And now, like California, it's become an insane state. They do insane things. To have a bill in Albany to mutilate children and never discuss what you're going to do with parents. Basically, I mean, Karl Marx has to be dancing in his grave. It's exactly what Karl Marx wanted. He wanted the state to run the kids, not the parents, because the parents wouldn't allow them to do the amoral, immoral, and horrible things that Marx had in mind for them. I mean, Marx was basically a nihilist. I mean, he had a horrible view of human beings and the human personality. And the amount of immorality couldn't be too great for Marx. Kind of did a pretty good job on that one too, right? You look at what's taught in our schools now. Basically, children are not taught the real American history. They're taught to question their gender before they really have any ability to do that. And there's a tremendous amount of brainwashing that goes on, political brainwashing, and now the brainwashing enters into religion, family, gender, sexuality, morality. Yet trying to train, a very well-disciplined little communists, anti-American, people who hate America. I mean, when do they ever talk about the greatness of this country? When's the last time you heard a Democrat talk about the greatness of this country?
After they've gotten so much for themselves out of it, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, most of them are have made an awful lot of money in public service. I mean, the Bidens kind of like eated the pig fat, but not alone. You look at Cuomo and what he was doing. You look at Hochul now. It's really a time. Right decision is crucial to the future of this state, the other states, and soon it'll be the entire country. Luckily, a good many states are not. It is, but Democrats get control, they'll be. I mean, it's not them that set a record for homicide last year. In other words, more than ever before in their history. That all 17 have Democrat mayors, and 14 of them have Soros DAs.
Hello, Rudy. God bless you.
How are you?
Andrew,
You're going to introduce me?
He might introduce. If he does, then you go up and introduce me afterwards.
Okay.
Newbies out of law school because there were two big cases. Within 1 year of Rudy Giuliani at the helm in New York City, people were fighting over the so-called sexy felony cases because they were evaporated into thin air because of one man who led the police department and stood behind the police department. Rudy Giuliani turned the city around. Rudy Giuliani stands for everything that is great and American.
Yes.
Law and order, patriotism, the Constitution of the United States, and the chutzpah, and the stamina, and the strength to say to anyone who comes at America, go to hell. You're going to have to pass your name. So, not too long ago, when you're asking what you can do tonight and in the next week, and if you're asking yourself, is it possible? Can we turn it around? Not too long ago, the people of Staten Island, all of you, took New York City in your hands and you turned it around and you saved New York City by electing Rudy Giuliani. Well, guess what? Right now, all these years later, New York State, all of New York State
I can do that.
is counting on Staten Island to lead the way again and to take back our state. And we're going to do it with people like Rudy Giuliani and Andrew Giuliani.
Give me that. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. Now, I had the pleasure of having dinner with Andrew just a little while ago, and I was a little worried about him. I hadn't seen him in a while. You know, he spends his time in what could effectively be thought of as an insane asylum. No, think about it. I mean, could you take it?
No.
In Albany?
No.
I mean, they're thinking about a law so that they can mutilate children and not tell the parents.
No way.
So, I mean, that isn't just wrong, that's perverted.
That's sick. Exactly.
But I'm going to talk to you just about two things. I don't think you should get confused. I don't think the people of America should get confused. This election is about two things. And without these two things, nothing else matters.
True.
Your safety
Yes.
and the ability to afford to take care of yourself and your children. Crime and the economy. And I've seen this city and state in the worst conditions.
And you
I took over, when I took over as mayor of New York, 75% of the people in the city wanted to leave.
Yes.
Staten Island was seceding.
That's right.
Remember? We were averaging 2,000 murders a year, and every year we had a big riot.
Yes. That's right.
You know, we didn't have a riot until a Democrat mayor came back.
That's right.
20 years of no riots. Democrats come back, we got a riot.
Oh.
But in Albany, we've now had 20 years of Democrat elected governors.
Time to turn it around.
They got one big thing in common. They both had to quit because they were corrupt. They had to quit in scandal. You don't want your children to know what they did because you don't want your children to be like them. Well, that is the Democrat Party in New York. It's rotten, it's crooked, and people are dying here because of their policies. When I was mayor, people were dying for lots of reasons, including their policies. Now it's just their policies. The reason for the crime rate in this city and state is real simple. Kathy Hochul, Andrew Cuomo, and the Democrat legislature. They are the reason for it. There must be, people estimate, anywhere from 7,000 to 10,000 criminals walking the street wanting to kill you, rape you, rob you, who were in jail when I was the mayor. They were in prison, so they wouldn't hurt you. I and the Republican Party fight for you. We fight for your safety. We fight for the safety of your children. The Democrat Party today fights for the criminals.
It's awful.
They put people out on the street that you can guarantee are going to throw people on the subway. And they don't give a damn. Because it's about two things for them.
Money.
Power and money. The two that went out in scandal, the one there now has 2 or 3 big scandals.
She does. She's terrible. Fire her.
That nobody is looking at because she's a Democrat.
Exactly.
Well, we can change that.
Yes.
Will Staten Island change that? Did you see the debate between her and Lee Zeldin? At least, you know, we know the president doesn't know who he is. And now I introduce President Harris.
That's right.
They are making fools out of us. They are making fools out of us. But it's your hands off our children. We don't want them to grow up like Cuomo or Spitzer or Hochul. We don't want them to grow up like crooked Biden. 31 million from China. Are we crazy?
He's a bum.
No, we're not crazy anymore.
No, we're not.
With the people of America, you're going to kick them out of office in a week. You're going to vote for. And they're going to do it all over America. They have pushed us too far. Too far. They have pushed us too far when they want to experiment with the sexuality of our children. They've pushed us too far when people are getting thrown on the subway and they say the subway is safe.
Let them take it.
I know a safe city. I produced one. Do you know that the budget of this state is $220 billion?
Double the size of Florida.
More than double the size of Florida. That has 2 million more people than we do. And I go back and forth between here and Florida. I don't notice that the service in Florida is any worse. In fact, during the pandemic, they were allowed to live. Do you know how many people they damaged with their dictatorial, socialist, if not communist policies of locking people up, closing down their restaurants? They produced more suicides, more depression, more illnesses, because they didn't give a damn. They produced a fortune for the pharmaceutical companies.
That's right. That's right.
And now we've got the state that people are running away from.
Yep.
I have several friends who have moving businesses.
They're making a fortune.
Making a fortune. They can't keep up with it. You can't keep up with it.
Sad.
People want to get out of here. That is the best reason to vote against her, isn't it?
Bring back New York.
Doesn't that tell you what you need to know?
Yes.
Shouldn't the states, the 3 or 4 states, with the largest number of people leaving, get rid of their governors?
Yes. Fire Hochul.
Doesn't that make sense?
Fire her.
You also now have the government as the senior partner in your earnings.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, here's what I mean by that. I don't mind paying taxes. I think it's wonderful, wonderful country. In fact, we should be spending a lot more on our military.
And our police. Our police.
I don't know, nobody mentions this, but we took $1 billion out of the police department.
We did.
That's called defunding the police. We never put it back. And this year's police budget is a reduction.
From that.
So we defunded them by $1 billion. You know how many cops I have? 41,000. You know how many cops they have? If they're telling the truth, 33,000. You see a difference?
Oh, it's much less.
Yeah?
I think it's less
But
than
they're
lying.
not allowed to do anything.
She's a liar.
Allowed to do anything.
They're not allowed to touch anything.
Well, you look at the riots of 2020, the cops had to watch as the criminals stole.
Broke every
1,000 times we saw that. You don't think we taught them to do what they're doing? You don't think the Democrats taught them to do what they're doing?
They got paid.
They know what's going to happen.
She bailed them out.
Love you, Rudy.
They know what's going to happen. It's going to just be a short interruption, and they can go right back out and rob from you again. So you gotta promise me. Promise me you're gonna vote. Promise me you're gonna get other people to vote. Promise me you're gonna vote for Lee Zeldin. I got the entire ticket, his wonderful lieutenant governor, and honest attorney general. And Joe Pinion knocked the hell out of him, Schumer. He knocked him right on the floor. That phony Schumer. Boom. Joe Pinion knocked the hell out of him. And I'll leave you with what's going to tell the history of this election. Hochul made probably the most, I would say, damaging and revelatory statement
Yep, we saw it. We all
that
saw it.
Lee pushed her into when, in frustration, she said, "Why do you care so much?" Now we know why we have so much crime. We have a governor that doesn't care. And now we know why we need Lee Zeldin, because he cares so much. Thank you. Who's next? Andrew? Come here. Good job. He's gonna let me rest now. But you're gonna come through, right? You're gonna come through for Lee like you did for me? Yeah! All right.
Mayor Rudy Giuliani, ladies and gentlemen. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
That was one of the best debates I ever saw.
I'm honored to be up here, standing here today
Bar
in
none.
support of my friend Lee
Let's go to the table now, Mayor. We got a half hour. Go to the table, Mayor.
Governor of the
Hey,
state of
Mayor.
New York.
Mayor, look.
I was a fireman in 9/11. You hugged me.
I'll hug you again.
I was full of debris. You hugged me, and you didn't let go. I never.
Well, why do you think I did
told
that?
this story for 20 years. Now I'm meeting you again.
When this time you... But I love
Can
you.
you get his contact info?
I love you.
Yeah. Okay, give it to
I've been telling you that story. I've been telling you that story for 20 years.
This is what I want my kids to be like you. Not those bums. Thank you.
Can you take a quick picture with this man?
Sure. Where?
Hey, how are you, sir?
How are you?
Pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Would you mind coming? Thank you. Appreciate it.
You know, at some point over the next couple of weeks, I want you to take a couple of minutes.
Thank you
Okay.
for all you've done, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Giuliani, can we get a photo?
Sure.
Taking it? Thank you. Love the young people getting involved.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
How can I be here without saying hello to you?
How are you?
Working because they don't let us reopen.
So, okay, there you go.
De Blasio asked last year.
Yeah.
When in front of him, no, the bill. You know, to move the license.
Yeah.
And we've been working and trying, and it's been going all over the place.
That's a shame.
I know. What are you going on? What's going on with you?
Well, I'm here with Zeldin. We're going to see if we can win this one, right?
Who's getting you all the good stuff anymore?
Thank you for joining us. We're live on Facebook and YouTube.
Bless you. I'll see you right now.
All right.
This man who ran the best cigar club in
Absolutely.
Right here.
The very best. The very best.
Go live.
And this woman here comes to here. She's got
Please.
something to tell you. Hello, Mr. Giuliani.
Speak into the mic if you can, just so people can hear you. It's very loud, but we got perfect.
Here.
Where is the mic?
Right here. Right next to me, right here.
Oh, okay, Mr. Giuliani. What a pleasure to meet you. I was at the World Trade Center for the 1993 attack and the 9/11 attack.
For both.
For both.
For both of them.
Yes.
Oh, my.
I was, at the time, a Democrat. When you were running in Staten Island, you were at the Columbus Day Parade, and I turned my back on you. I regret that. I need to apologize.
Oh, you
for
don't
that.
have to apologize.
Yes, I do. And I turned Republican.
Well, how about you give me a kiss?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, nobody had a picture.
Come on, let's take a picture.
Mary.
Yeah, I remember. Hi, Mary. How are you, sweetheart?
I got a camera. I'll take it.
Okay, Mr. Giuliani.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
God bless you always.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And I was proud to vote for your son.
Thank you.
Okay, people, you can have them. Thank you.
Ah. Hi, Mary. How are you?
We're live on YouTube and Facebook. And just so you're aware, we're live. If you have any message for our audience, for the mayor, we're broadcasting around the world.
Where do we have some people? Give us a little hint.
Let us know where you're from.
John, I'm from Staten Island, New York.
You're from Staten?
Brooklyn originally.
Of course, everybody in Staten Island's from Brooklyn, right? Yeah, this is good. This will work.
Yeah. Started out many years ago. I met Rudy through Mary Sansone, the very Democrat. He was New York's mayor. It is essential that we claim New York back. The streets aren't safe. There's problems in the streets, on the subways, everywhere. Over here in Staten Island, there was a shooting. The opioid crisis, the addiction. We have to take control. Lee Zeldin is the answer. He's a father. He's a family man. This is not about Republican, Democratic, Independent. This is about saving our state. I want to say another thing. He took Allison Esposito, 25 years, I believe she was on the police force. What's going on with our police force? 400 people are due to resign this year. Why are our streets not safe? We can't defund the police.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Mayor, we have a very special guest. He wants to talk with you.
So that's pretty much a universal.
One picture. One picture. All right.
That's a universal view that Mary has. That this is.
You want to introduce yourself and explain how you know the mayor?
My name is Michael Tenteromano.
Speak into the mic.
My name is Michael Tenteromano. I retired from the fire department, and I retired from the Air Force Reserve. And I first met Giuliani, Mayor Giuliani, at 9/11. I was walking with 10 firemen. It was like a V. I was in the front, and we made eye contact. And he waved these people goodbye. I mean, he waved these people, said like, step back. And the firemen made a circle around us. And I had all debris on me from the pile. I've been telling the story for 20 years. And he's talking to me, and he hugged me and didn't let go. Hugged me and wouldn't let go. I mean, he was consoling me. I was depressed. I came from the New York City Transit Authority. I became a fireman, and I almost got killed. And here you got the mayor of New York City hugging me and not letting go. I've been telling the story for 20 years.
Yeah, you're the reason New York recovered. You're the reason America recovered. Your courage.
Thank you for your help.
Your courage and all your brothers and sisters.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you were the best mayor the city has ever had.
Well,
that's
you see, this is what a hero really is. A guy who gets up every day and puts on his uniform and he could die that day. But he doesn't even think about it. You just go do your job.
I just do it.
Right? You went in the pile. You know there were fires below there that you could just fall in them and burn to death.
100%.
Yeah.
But the thing that I gotta tell everyone, he's the best mayor, the best person I've seen in my life. He really is.
Well,
A lot of people think so.
Yeah.
well,
Thank you
we're
so
very
much for sharing your story.
we're
Mike.
very lucky to, and thank you. God bless you for your service.
We want to stay in touch. Thank you.
So here's a man who served the city and the country.
Yeah. Oh, I did 33 years in the military.
There you go. He did 33 years in the military. Yeah. Well,
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
well, I mean, the reality is that this election is about people like that, because the current Democrat Party, under the awful, corrupt leadership of people like Biden and Hochul and the Clintons, have abandoned honest, decent Americans. So they have to go to criminals for their support. They have to bring in illegal immigrants. They have to give non-citizens the right to vote, which is what they did in New York. I mean, you might as well give away your country if you're not going to limit voting to citizens. People should vote who are committed to your country, not people who aren't citizens. I don't know if you realize the enormity with which the Democrats are throwing away America. The act of supporting non-citizens voting, which the New York Democrats voted for, is to throw away your country. People who vote should at least be citizens and have a commitment to some common core values, so you're a country. Now, the reason that commitment has been broken is because of Marxism. These people are executing the will of Karl Marx down to Alinsky, who taught Obama and Hillary. This isn't a big mystery to me. It is to many people because they didn't see it happening. But look at the brainwashing in our schools, what they're doing to our children. This is exactly what the communists preach. Get to the children early. Take them away from the parents. Just what Randy Weingarten wants to do. Just what the education industry wants to do. Whether they are or aren't communists, they are executing the agenda of communism, which is to take your child away from you, because they want to control the child for the purpose of realigning us into one world. Forget the wisdom of America. This is the wisdom of Marx, Engels, Castro, the idiots in Hollywood.
We have just a couple of minutes left, Mayor, and we have some folks that would like to say hi, so feel free to come in. We're live on video.
How are you?
Big fan. Correction officer, retired, 25 years on Rikers Island. You're the greatest mayor the city has ever seen.
I like it. I like your shirt.
I was there January 6th. I was standing in front of the Capitol. I didn't enter, so everybody better relax.
All right.
But listen, you're a great mayor. The best mayor the city's ever had. Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you for saying hi. We appreciate it. So, Mayor, we just have a couple minutes left. Oh, somebody else wants to say hi.
How are you?
I want to say you're the greatest mayor ever.
Well, thank you.
You did a great job on the
Are you from Staten Island also?
Staten Island, retired.
God bless you.
All right.
God bless you.
Couple handshakes, so we'll get the next person. You want a handshake, or what? We got to keep it moving, folks. We just have a couple minutes left.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us.
Come on, that's good.
As you can see, the mayor's got a lot of support here on Staten Island.
Well, these are very, very good, hard-working people.
Yes, I'm with the New York City Young Republican Club. And it's
Yes, yeah, I remember meeting you before.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have you come. Thank you so
How
much.
are you? How are you? How you doing? Be careful, be careful.
No, that's, you been all right?
I'll be good.
Good.
Who's got the camera? Right there? Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
How are you, sir? I just want to thank you for always keeping our
Thank
families
you,
safe.
thank you, thank you.
You guys did great. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Come on. All righty.
Thank you.
Couple more. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, okay.
So he's
Thank you.
taking pictures here. Oh, we got it.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, yeah, him first. Him first.
How are you? How are you?
What's your name?
Jonah.
What's your name?
Jonah.
Jonah? How are you, Jonah? That's wonderful. Come on over, Justine. So let's
One day you can grow up to be like him, maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, son.
Finish off here.
There you go. Sit down, my dear.
Mr. Mayor, how are you?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm very excited to be out here for Congressman Lee Zeldin. I'm from New Jersey originally, but my parents took me into New York for acting classes growing up, and it used to be such a beautiful city under your leadership. And I work in the city now. I'm afraid to wear my Star of David proudly walking to the subway because you never know when the next subway pusher will be there.
Yeah, you know, do you think that there's
dangerous.
some danger in that, isn't there?
The same party that claims
Shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be that way. But the Democrats are allowing it to happen because they don't care about Jew hatred. But most importantly, they don't care about hatred and crime towards anyone in the city. They are putting criminals over their own constituents. They think that their constituents are the criminals, and they're releasing them under these crazy bail reform.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, they want criminals to vote. They want to bring in illegal immigrants to vote because I think they know that they've turned their back on the honest, hardworking people.
And they know the illegals and the criminals will all vote for them.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Justine.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Good to see
Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Everything you do, you're terrific.
You as well.
And right, thank you.
All
We
right.
have 1 minute left, and then we're going to go out and meet with Congressman Zeldin.
All right.
Live on Introduce yourself.
How are you, Scott? How are you?
You're live in all 50 states and around the world.
You're done right. No, Scott, everyone knows Scott.
The first conservative artist in New York City back in the 90s.
The first or the only?
Well, now there's a lot more coming out, which is a good sign.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice?
Founding father of this movement.
Yeah.
Because of you. I followed your
Great.
footsteps, and I said, I don't need to be with the art world. I don't need them.
Right.
I don't need them.
Right.
I need their anti-American stuff. This was back in the 90s, and I said, I'm with Giuliani. I'm following those footsteps. As an artist in New York City, and you know how tough that was. Just as tough as you trying to become a mayor of a liberal city. Oh.
Well, Scott's work, you all know. There's a great documentary.
Yes, coming out soon. It's coming
All
out
right,
soon.
I saw.
Somebody might be in it.
Well, but I saw a little of it. It's really good.
It's good. That's all tightened
This
up
man
now.
is an exceptional artist.
We're in
I'm
the
sure
same
you've
boat,
seen
brother.
him.
We're in the same boat.
The ones that are amazing is when he does them like in 3 minutes or 5 minutes. How long do you? No, when you do it.
3 minutes.
When you do it with the song and
3 minutes.
Is it 3 minutes?
I paint the flag in 3 minutes.
Is that 3 minutes?
Yes. 3 minutes. Anything more than that, people can't pay attention. So. Always a pleasure, brother.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you.
I kiss in the ring.
Oh no. Yeah, all right.
We got it. But you're being requested by Lee Zeldin to
Okay.
come outside.
So you want to say
Okay.
goodbye to
Well, that's what we're going to do now. We'll
exciting
say
episode.
goodbye to everyone, and we'll be back tomorrow. Maybe a little more orderly, but maybe not as much fun, right?
Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow night.
God bless
at 8
America.
p.m. Eastern.
God bless America.